What's going on, guys? Glad to be back. Chris and Reggie, ready to rock another episode on the Travelers Podcast. What's going on, Chris? How's things been in your life?
It's been great.
Did you just get run?
Any better, couldn't stand it.
Did you get this like
What?
Did it like a marathon or something?
No.
What was it?
Marathon, man.
What was it?
5K.
5K. That's close. That's a marathon.
5K
to me.
with 8 inches of snow falling. That's the
Okay.
first time for me.
Okay.
It was great. A
Yeah.
lot of fun. Brutal, but fun.
And
Discomfort.
what place did you get?
Second place in my age group.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, there are only 2 of us. So, I mean, there's that. No, there's 9.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Ready?
Yeah, let's roll. Before we start, don't forget, share this episode, like it, and subscribe. And what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the book.
This one right here?
Yes.
All right.
The Richest Man in Babylon. But really, the richest man in your city. How do we relate that? Right? So
how do you know who the richest man is in your city?
well, you could use the G word and try to find out that way. Right?
Oh, you keep
Which
saying
I don't like
that.
to say the G word.
Keep forgetting.
Yeah, we don't use the G word. So, but in reality, I think that the richest man in your city, wherever you're listening to or where you're from, is going to have 3 or 4 fundamental things that they've done in their life. Okay? The first is they reinvest in themselves. Whatever they're doing, they basically have enough faith in themselves, they have enough belief in the systems that they've developed, in the business they've built, in the profession where they reside, in the skill set that they have, the trade that they're in. They reinvest in themselves. Okay, so what does that mean? It basically means that when we first started in the world that we're in right now, I never spent my returns on my money. Never. Anytime I would have success, I would reinvest in myself. I would reinvest in our company. I would reinvest in education. I would expand our skill sets. I would seek counsel from outside my sphere and outside my comfort zone to learn more and stretch more, right? And that's extremely critical. So I think that there's a difference between investing in yourself and investing with so-called partners. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
All right. When I was first peddling real estate, I worked with this guy, Clayton. Dude, he was like 82. And I was, 28, 29. And I go to work for him. And he's got a partner named Stu. And Stu is like 45 or so, 48. And I cold called Clayton and said, hey, I'd like to come work with you. Clayton at that time was the only one who had a Rolls Royce, probably still is or was, had a Rolls Royce in our town of Rockford, Illinois, right? I mean, he was known for the Rolls Royce. That was his kind of his badge, right? And this guy survived the Great Depression. He used to put 3 utility bills in one envelope and 1 stamp to save money.
Wow.
Okay? So he was very, very conservative, right, with his money, and he reinvested in himself. In himself. Stu, his partner, was going through some rough times, got a hold of Clayton, and they formed a development company. All right? But the way Stu did it is he gave away half the money. So what do I mean? So what he did is he would say, Reggie, you have this farm of 100 acres. I'd like to do a subdivision. Okay? And here's what we're going to do. I will get it zoned. I'll make sure that the roads are put in, and you put up the land for collateral. And then once we pay for the road improvements, water, sewer, curb, gutter, streets, asphalt, stone, all of it, we pay that back first. Then we pay you for your land, then we split the profits. Okay? So Stu was never invested wholly in himself.
Right.
He gave away half his money to people that own land. Which to me, I never understood that. I'm like, well, if you believe in the project, why won't you just do it yourself?
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
So investing in yourself. Partners are okay to a certain extent, but a lot of times partners are not what's called equally yoked, right? Like, I might have more money than you might have more money than me, and so when Big Brother comes by and says, hey, things aren't working out so well, the bank comes knocking, they're going for the person who has the most equity and the most money.
Oh.
The other guy, they just flick them off to the side.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're dismissed because they're going after the deep pockets to make sure they get paid.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right? So invest in yourself, right? That's number one. Number two, pay off your debts. If you find some of the richest people in your city, you're going to find that they pay their debts. Mm-hmm. And when I say pay off their debts, I don't mean necessarily income-producing property like our rental properties we have, right? I'm talking about machinery, equipment, trucks, anything that you have that's considered overhead. You want to pay that off so that you don't have all that stress. So the income that you create and the profits that you create, you're going ahead and you're taking care of that debt. So that's not like choking, right? At one time, I think this is about, I'm trying to just age myself or go back in time. I think it was 2015, 2016. A bank that we were dealing with told us that we were the only ones in their entire system that they would loan money to on a spec home.
Wow.
Everybody else, they had too much debt, they were bad risks, they had not honored their obligations, those kinds of things. So pay off the debt. That's just incredibly important. And that means if you're a plumber, right, and you've got a truck and you've got a couple of employees, right, and you got a couple of trucks, pay off the trucks. And then you just keep plowing that money back into the company. And you keep plowing it back into the company, and you plow it back into the company. You don't take the profits. The book talks about that, which we'll get to in a minute. And the third thing is extremely important. That's basically stick to what you know.
Stick to what you know.
Yeah. Stay in your own lane, right? I mean, again, we'll talk about that, getting ahead of myself, but stick to what you know. I'm not going to open up a Culver's restaurant. What do I know about hamburgers? I love to eat them. But what do I know about hamburgers? Nothing. The restaurant business has a 50% failure rate in the first year. 50%. Well, there's a reason why.
Never
right?
heard of it.
You may have the greatest recipe and the greatest, dessert, pastry, hamburger, steak, process and how to cook certain dishes. But if you don't understand marketing, you don't understand business and finances, you're done, right? There's a place in our town on a street called Riverside. I can't even remember what used to be there, but it's on its in the last, and I'm not kidding this, in the last, I think, 2 years, I think it's on its fourth restaurant. People can't make it. There's a fish place in there. There was some type of Asian food in there. There was a Hispanic, Mexican food in there. Something else, I can't remember. And they just keep recycling. It's a great location.
I was about to ask, is it the location?
Great location. Phenomenal location. 30, 40, 50,000 cars per day. So it's not the location. It's the business. So how do you know who the richest man in Babylon is, or excuse me, in your city is? They're following some of these principles, and obviously they're saving their money. They're not living at their means level, right? If you're making $100,000 a year, you shouldn't be living on $100,000 a year. You should be living on 40 or 50. You should be investing that and saving that and growing that organically, right? Same with you own a business and you're a small shop, or you're a hairdresser, you're a nail salon, you're making crafts, whatever you're doing, you own a gym, whatever it is, you're reinvesting in yourself, you're paying down your debt, and you're staying within your own lane. Those are 3 or 4 critical things.
It's interesting because when I'm hearing you mention those 3 components, it almost, the one thing that jumps to my mind is by doing those things, you're almost increasing cash flow.
Of course. Most definitely. which helps you in uncertain times, in challenging times.
Interesting.
For example, this is off range a little bit, but this is important. I go off range a lot, it seems like, but I just read, and this is a freebie here on stocks tips, okay? You're asking about stock tips. I read for the third time from 3 different publications about Coca-Cola and how Coca-Cola is a great dividend stock. Right now it's paying, I think, 2.8%. But the stock is projected to kind of go up a little, you know. So between the dividend that you get, which is about 3%, so whatever you invest, you get 3% because they have a dividend. And they don't miss dividends. They're going to have some growth. Their business, you know. So between those couple of things, that's like a 20, 25% return.
That's unheard of.
So when you see, right, when you see an opportunity like that, you buy it on the dip, right? And then you grow it organically that way. Same thing in business, right? In the last 2 weeks, I bought 2 properties. Okay? Both fixer-uppers, both flips. One I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. One of them, the tenant's going to move out, and we're going to fix it and flip it. But why? It's what I know. It's what I do. Don't ask me to flip a commercial building. I don't know anything about it, right? Don't ask me about mini storage. Don't ask me about hotel buildings. Don't ask me about office buildings, right? Don't ask me about industrial warehouses, industrial space. Know nothing about any of those things. They ask me about residential, that I know.
Stay in their lane.
Reinvest in my own self. Yeah.
So this is a very interesting book.
It's a great book.
How did you come to find out about this book? Like, how did you?
So I love going to at that time, you could go to like a Barnes and Noble, and who was the other one? What was the other one? I can't remember the other one that went out of business. There were 2 like main bookstores. Like what? You know
Was it BAM or something? Is it BAM?
No, there was Barnes and Noble, and there was one other one. I can't. Nobody?
No.
You guys are not helpful.
It's in here somewhere.
I think we had this. Crocs and Batano or something? Was that it?
Oh no, I only know Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, I think it was Crocs and Batano or something like that. Well, I used to love to go to bookstores, and I would always look at the business books. And I came across this book, like, I'd read a little bit, you know. And I read it, it's like 25, 30 years ago. Probably, yeah, probably 30 years ago.
Wow.
And I bought my first one. And I read it every year. And it got to the point where it was so dog-eared and bad that my wife bought me this one for, look at the light, not the camera. My wife bought me this. It's crazy. So my wife bought me this book for like my birthday or something, you know, hard copy, and it's still, I mean, you can see it's got the highlights in it and all that, you know, and I read it. I try to read it every year. It's a good reminder having this conversation because I'll hit it again. Good reminder. And it talks about all these fundamental things about everything financial. And one of the things that there's just so many teachings in here that are fundamental. I think our last episode, or one of our last episodes, was on financial literacy.
Yes.
I gave both our children this book and made them basically read it.
Wow.
Made them. Sounds horrible. But asked them to read. They read this book, and they gave me a book report. I said, what do you learn from this book? And a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old, or a 14-year-old, 16, whenever they did that, they just, wow, this is powerful stuff. And those fundamental things, those foundations, if you will, they're just so critical to basically having a better life for yourself, you know?
What, can you name some, just, I know we talked about in one of our previous episodes, we were talking about financial literacy for kids.
Yeah.
Name 2 teachings in that book where you can be like top of mind.
Okay, here you go. So here's the book. Open it up, right? But it doesn't matter where you open it. Doesn't matter. Find something that's highlighted. And read it to me. Doesn't matter what it is.
Okay.
Read it to me.
The wisdom of making a payment immediately when we are convinced our bargain is wise, suggested a venerable saddle maker.
Okay. So what he's saying is when you basically take a debt. You pay it off quickly.
Okay.
Find me another one.
Okay. Ooh. This one hit me right here. The spirit of procrastination.
Oh. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish it. That's it?
The spirit of procrastination is within all men. We desire riches, yet how often when opportunity doth appear before us, the spirit of procrastination from within doubt urges various delays in our acceptance.
Okay, bottom line is this. And you notice how he's reading, by the way? That's like old world English he's reading. He's reading it from that perspective, which is super. No. You're going to hang on to it. There's tons more in there.
I want to see what. Yeah.
There's tons more. So procrastination is like everybody procrastinates. We all do, right? Yesterday I went on a hike with the dog. There's 12. We got the day after, 2 days after Thanksgiving, we got like 10 inches of snow. And then we got another 8 inches of snow yesterday. So we had like 20 inches of snow on the ground, whatever it is, 16, 18, 20. How am I going to run in the snow? Not a good, that's tough. So I took the dog on a 3-mile hike. It was brutal. My calves were killing me today, right? But I didn't want to run, but I pivoted and did something else to maintain the physical health. So procrastination, we all do it, right? I don't care if it's doing the dishes, man. I hate doing the dishes. My wife's like, where'd my dishwasher go? She asked me yesterday. I was right over there. He's in there. No. Where'd you go? What happened? You haven't done dishes in like 2 days. I'm like, yeah, I've been kind of slacking, And the things we don't like to do, we've talked about this. Successful people, they don't like to do them. Unsuccessful people don't like to do them. The difference is the successful people do them. And procrastination, putting off tomorrow what you can do today is do it today.
Kind of
get it off.
Almost kind of flows into my next question then. What does it mean opportunity waits for no man?
Opportunity waits for no one. Just like that. I mean, when someone presents you, like they're knocking on your door and they say, hey, I got this opportunity. In your world, it's tech, okay? So I have this opportunity to basically create some type of what's that A word? I always say it wrong.
AI?
No,
algorithm.
Thank you. What is it again?
Algorithm?
Rhythm. Alga?
Yeah.
Alga.
Algorithm. Yeah.
So I have this algorithm that can increase your views on the Travelers podcast by 25%. 3 easy steps. Well, what are you waiting for? What is it? You don't say, well, I got to talk to Chris and we probably need to discuss it. And why don't you present it to me and let's see what it is. You're like, no, let's go. This is somebody you trust, you've done business with, right? Not a complete stranger, right? Not somebody that's just sending something on Instagram, but something that's legit, right? So whatever it is, your field, your specialty, your talent, whatever it is that you're working in, right? You want to maximize your potential. And the way to do that is when opportunity strikes, man, you gotta hit it. You gotta hit it. When the door opens, you go through it. You don't gotta bust it down, but you gotta go through it. Because guess what happens? The door swings open, and the door slowly starts to close because somebody else comes right through it and they scooch right in front of you. So when opportunity presents itself, you must act. Imperative.
That's one of the things I've noticed about you is you make quick decisions.
Yeah.
But you're really slow to change your mind.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So, what you mean by that, or I can tell our audience a little bit about that, is this. That I'll give you an example. So we're doing this project in Bettendorf, the Quad Cities. And I had done a similar project in Sycamore. Well, we're going to do it the same way. This is 20 years later. We're going to have a big sign out front. We're going to, like, no, a sign isn't going to work. What do you mean? People want it online. So what are you talking about? You got to have a web page. You got to have a Facebook page. You got to do marketing. You got to do all this stuff. I introduced Reggie's referral. You helped me with that. That's the first thing. I pivoted. And we built basically our core business because of that. The second thing is that everything was approved for the exact same building, okay? There were like 60 or 50, I can't remember, 50, 40, 46 buildings. They were all the same. 2 uppers, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2 lowers, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. All 2-car garages. They were all the same. Well, Shane's selling for me, our son. He says, Dad, people love our product, but they want ranches. I said, well, they have them buy a lower. They have ranches. They got tons of ranches. No, but they want ranches with nobody living above them. Nah, wait. Finally, I said, okay. So I built some ranches in another location, and I just took that plan. I put it over, in Bettendorf, and guess what? They ended up selling more of those than we did the over-unders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we ended up doing freestanding ranches as villas, 4 walls, no neighbor. We did 3 families. We did 4 families. We sold them like crazy. Why? Pivot. You have to be you have to be willing to pivot. You have to be willing to kind of move in a different direction when you see that whatever's happening right now isn't maybe the best thing. There's other opportunities that are can make some improvements. But you got to pivot. I mean, you know me well enough to know when I make a decision, we're done. But I also, when I make a decision that may not be the best decision, I change that. Another example of that would be, before we move on, this is real quick, we have this brand new 2-story product we developed. There were like 3 bedrooms with a 2-story great room, phenomenal product, townhome. Then we did a 2-bedroom, okay? And they were way too big. We sold 1 out of 3. I said, all right, pull them off the market.
You pulled them off?
Pull them off the market. I took the 2-bedroom, because they were all 2-story great rooms, all 3 units. Pull them off the market, readjusted our pricing a little bit, changed our marketing plan. I took the 2-bedroom, I put a floor above it, right, where the great room was. So now I have 3 3-bedrooms. Put them back on the market, okay? I sold the first one in like 3 days. I sold the second one in 2 weeks. Why? Pivot. Made a mistake, changed it, move on. Now I know what the market wants. The market loves our product, but we had to adjust it to meet the market's demand. You have to pivot.
And a lot of times the market will tell you what they...
Yes, the market dictates. You think that you dictate, but you really don't. The market does. Yeah.
In the book, going back to the book, it talks about cures. So what are some of the 7 cures? Since we have
7 cures for a lean purse is what you're talking
lean
about.
purse, yep.
Okay, before we continue, I have to say something about this book. I try to read a lot of books. And the Bible, of course, is number 1. This is the number 1 book you should read in business. I don't care what you're doing. This book is phenomenal. Light, Richest Man in Babylon. Right there. Okay? All right, so the 7 cures for a lean purse. Number 1, starch thy purse to fattening. 2, control thy expenditures. 3, make thy gold multiply. 4, there's a real good one. Guard thy treasures from loss. Yeah. 5, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. 6, ensure a future income. And 7, increase thy ability to earn. Those are heavy, man. That's got to be a short in there somewhere. That's got to be whatever that time is. That's a short. But that's like huge, right? It hits all the things that we've been talking about, right? It talks about basically control your expenses, live within your means, live below your means. Not necessarily within your means, live below your means. Control thy expenditures. Fatten the purse. Try to earn more money, right? It talks about create income for your future. It talks about expanding your knowledge base. Learn. Reading is one of the greatest tools that we have, but it's also one of the most misused tools.
Very misused.
Okay? So December 10th, which is
2 days from now.
just a few, well, you're just telling people when we're filming, but that's fine.
A couple of
2
days,
days from now. Actually, when our episode drops. Yeah. December 10th. December 10th. Guess what law Australia just passed that goes in effect December 10th? You'll never guess. So stop trying. You're not even trying.
I'm trying.
16 years old and younger, social media is now outlawed in Australia.
What?
Oh, yeah. 16 years and under. Now, why do you think that is? It's destroying the minds of our young people.
Wow.
It's ruining their lives. They need to be reading, not typing and texting and scrolling. They need to be reading, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Critical. Grow your mind. All these things the 7 cures for a lean purse, make that gold multiply. Well, who doesn't want to do that? Who wants to take your gold, or your money in this case, and multiply it and grow it? Everybody does, of course. So, yeah.
Since we're talking about gold, gold's been really good in the stock market. But anyway, different topic. What are the 5 laws of gold?
So here's one. Gold is reserved for those who know its laws and abide by them. Interesting, right? Think about that. Doesn't matter if you know it. Okay? Here's another one. I learned by heart each law and determined that when once more the goddess of good fortune smiled upon me, I would be guided by the wisdom of age and not by the inexperience of youth. All right. Go ahead there. Let's hit number 1.
You want to hit number 1?
Number 1, yeah. The 5 laws of gold. This is right from the book. These are things, by the way, in my opinion, these are things that you should have on a plaque.
Yeah.
In your house, in your office, in your study, as part of your homework, in the back of your books. I mean, these are monumental things we're talking about.
So the first law of gold cometh gladly and increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family.
Saving money, 1/10.
1/10.
2.
This is my.
And by the way, these are minimums, by the way.
Right.
I couldn't tell you last time I saved 10% of my income. Way more than that. Way more than that. It's invest in yourself. That's what we talked about.
This is my favorite one.
Well, you got. Am I going to? Okay, so now you're budging me. You're going to read it?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead. That's all right. You're going to read it. Go ahead.
Because it is my favorite.
Well, then go ahead and read it. That's your favorite.
Gold laboreth diligently and contently for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field.
Very good. By the way, this book was written in 1921.
Insane.
In Babylon, if you do any history and understand what Babylon is in the city and all the crazy things that were going on, that's another incredible story, but I'll give you one little tidbit. Babylon, this city was protected. It was this big, huge fortress. Yeah. And the top basically of the city, because they built it on a structure and the city was all contained within. The top was so wide, they used to have chariot races on the top. They'd race around in circles with the chariots. Yeah, this is a phenomenal story. Okay, number 3. Gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling.
Ooh, you just mentioned that when we first started talking.
Yeah. Here, we got a little sidebar, some of this stuff. We can't just say it, you gotta talk a little bit about it, right? So, Proverbs, the book of Proverbs in the Old Testament, the Bible says that Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. That's what I'm talking about right here. That's one example. All right, hit number 4, Mr. Writing Everything Down. Come on, you can listen to this episode anytime you want.
I know. It's just,
even though you're a participant, you can still watch it.
I like the writing piece.
All right, let's
All
go.
right.
Writing,
Gold
writing,
slip it
writing.
away from the man who invests in it, in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep.
So what do we talk about? Stick to what you know.
Stick to what
Stay
you
in your
know.
own lane. Okay?
Yeah.
5.
Gold fleet.
This is up. I get to read one or two of them, you know. You've been hogging it. Let me just read
I
one or
love
two.
this book.
It's a great book. It's a great book. You should read it every year. Every year. Because it needs to remind yourself. We get so, caught up in the sugar plums, right? And the candy and all the cool stuff that we get distracted easily. So, okay, here we go. Gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment.
We are not giving this book justice.
Oh, I know. I mean, we could literally talk about 3 or 4 of these concepts in an entire episode, which we may do at some point. Depends on the demand,
Is that because I know it talks about, I'm thinking about, there we go. The clay tablets.
And we're way ahead of ourselves. We skipped a question here.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. Look at number 5.
The reason why I didn't bring up number 5 is because
No.
you already mentioned.
Oh, you think we already did number 5?
Yeah, because you mentioned staying in your own lane and you talked about it
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
beginning.
All right, that's fair, I guess.
That's why I didn't want to bring it
Okay.
up again.
All right. Okay. So what was the question again?
The book
I know,
mentions
I know,
the
I know,
clay.
I know. Page 118.
I told you I was ready.
Page 118. The clay tablets from Babylon.
Because we have different pages. Let me see here.
And these are like, imagine this, right? These are like tablets, like people like write on these, right?
Yeah.
So this is on page 118. It starts there. I'm going to read the first one. Actually, I'm probably going to read them all because you don't have them highlighted, do you?
No, but I
Shame
do
on
have.
you. Shame on you. That's right.
You can't. That means I got to buy another book.
Well, you need to
highlight.
first of all, by the way, our listeners, get this big one here. They make the big green ones like this. That one's too dinky. Look at the little one he's got. Go ahead. Show a little dinky one.
Information
Size
is
8.
the same.
No, it isn't the same because you can't write in it and like take little notes on the sides and things like that. Like right now, you're just complaining because it was too, so what is it?
Look,
I'm looking.
look. This is a great book. And with my lack sometime of English,
Oh, we're going to play that
it's
card, huh? Come on. Oh, my gosh. Really? Come on. That's about a size 6 font. Okay? This is like a 12. See?
That's a good
Yeah,
book.
this is better.
Good book.
But seriously, this green one, I've given away probably 50, 60, 100 of these books.
Do they
And I
still-
always give them this one because this one's better. That one's really, the writing's just too small.
Do they have the?
They have this green version.
Okay.
Yes. Not the hardback.
Okay.
But the green version. Okay,
Gotcha.
we got to get back to the podcast.
Yeah,
We're a little off track
sorry,
here.
sorry, yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
So the clay tablets from Babylon. All right, number 1, I'm going to read. And just imagine this, right? Where these guys are like chiseling on these tablets and making these like laws or whatever, these rules, okay? First, the first plan is this. Provide for my future prosperity. Therefore, 1/10 of all I earn shall be set aside as my own to keep. Okay? Second, the plan doth provide that I shall support and clothe my good wife, who hath returned to me with loyalty from the house of her father. Therefore, 7/10 of all I earn shall be used to provide a home, clothes to wear, food to eat, with a bit extra to spend, that our lives be not lacking in pleasure and enjoyment. Third, the plan doth provide that out of my earnings my debts shall be paid. Therefore, each time the moon is full, 2/10 of all I have earned shall be divided honorably and fairly among those who have trusted me and to whom I am indebted. That just took care, basically, of 100%. Okay? So let's see, there's two more. Let's see, that's tablet 2, tablet 3. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, patience, time, painful. Okay, so this guy, he got himself in some problems with debt, right? And so this is what he did. Therefore, I have visited my creditors and explained to them I have no resources with which to pay except my ability to earn, and that I intend to apply 2/10 of all I earn upon my indebtedness, evenly and honestly. This much can I pay, but no more. Therefore, if they be patient in time, my obligations will be paid in full. Mm-hmm. So, everyone accepted his proposal, he says. Therefore, I'm determined now more than ever to carry through, being convinced that it is easier to pay one's just debts than to avoid them. So this applies to people, young people, people my age, middle-aged people, whatever, that get themselves tied up in debt, and they're over their heads. They've just got too much. They go to their creditors, they go to their lenders, whatever. This is back then. You could pull this off. Here today, I don't know that you could do that, but I guess if you look up some of the things that Ramsey teaches, Dave Ramsey, he'll explain to you in greater detail how to get rid of some of those things that are kind of choking you a little bit. But the simplest of it is this. If you got a credit card, you're getting waxed 28%, 22%, whatever, pay it off, man. Smash that thing down. Mm-hmm. Those credit cards are they're horrific. They're just horrific.
Horrible.
It's horrible. It's a horrible trap to get in. But, at hand, credit cards are an incredible tool. We have 3 credit cards for our company, and I charge it like crazy. Pay them off every month. I get all kinds of points, miles, airlines, hotels, trips. I'll use it to your advantage. I get 2% back on one. So you have to use it. It's a tool, but it's also a trap. And the trap door is just the abyss.
Easy to get into.
Okay? So let's move on to number 4, tablet number 4. Okay? 1/10 I've set aside to keep as my own. 7/10 I've divided with my good wife. 2/10 I'm going to use to pay off my creditors. Okay? So, I don't have anything left, do I? Well, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Here we go. Here he says, each time, okay, my person, I have 21. Let's see what you okay. This is the part here, investing. The moon shines full. I'm greatly rejoiced. I intercepted a fine herd of camels and bought many sound ones. Therefore, my earnings were 42 pieces of silver. This moon, my wife and I have bought much needed sandals and clothing. Also, we have dined well on meat and fowl. We paid 8 pieces of silver to our creditors. Okay? So what's he saying? I earn money. I'm accelerating my plan. I'm paying my debts off sooner, right? All right. And finally, tablet number 5. All right? Let's see here. Let's see. Actually, pay his debts. Okay. Basically, his goal here, tablet number 5, is to be debt-free. He says, for truly, if this plan were to enable an ex-slave, that's himself, to pay his debts and have gold in his purse, will it not aid any man to find independence? Nor am I myself finished with it, for I am convinced that if I follow it further, it will make me rich among men. So follow the plan, right? Stick to the plan.
If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah. But that's the question, though. Sometimes people say that, like, hey, can you do me a favor? Sure. No. You do me a favor? Well, it depends on what it is. So what's the question?
Basic question.
Basic question?
Basic.
If you don't mind me asking.
I read it maybe twice. How many times did you read this book?
I've lost count.
Really?
Yeah, I've lost count. Yeah.
Wow. What were some of your best teachings then that you feel?
The first one, by far, debt reduction. In 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Ooh, when
13,
the economy crashed, yeah.
the real estate world just completely cratered. Okay? And upwards of 70% of my debt was non-income producing debt. Land, spec homes, lots, subdivisions. Had all this debt. I'm paying interest on all this debt. Everything's going out. Guess what? Nothing coming in. Those were dark days. I think I shared this. I was down to 1 year with a burn rate. I had a burn rate of 1 year, which basically meant that if I didn't make some changes and the economy didn't change or whatever, I had 1 year and I'd be done. My reserve had enough for about 1 more year. Okay? And so I sold my biggest asset. I recapitalized. I took half the equity, put it in savings, set aside, put the other half, formed the new company. That's why I bought a bunch of lots, fully approved from banks. Crazy stories that we could tell about that. But now, today, completely flipped. Now, I calculate this every month. But right now, I'm around maybe 8 to 10, maybe 11% of non-income producing debt.
Wow.
The rest of my debt, renters, tenants. Yeah. So that's number one. Get rid of your debt. I have such an incredible amount of freedom. If something happened right now and I just shut everything down, no problem. No problem at all. If the market went completely bonkers, you know, and things changed in a negative way, I'd be able to respond very, very quickly and shut it. Number one, our employees are phenomenal. They're probably 2 to 3 times in terms of production than anybody else in their same field. They're phenomenal. Okay, they're just phenomenal. Very efficient, and they're paid accordingly. They should be paid more. They get bonus more. They should get. I would rather have 8 employees than 20 and do the same business. I'd rather have the quality. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, compound interest.
Ooh.
Compound interest is the money making money thing, right? That's like your money grows, you don't take it, it grows again. And you don't take it and it grows again. Like right now I have a CD that we sold a piece of property. I didn't need the money for a while. I put in a CD for a year, or 9 months or whatever it was. And that's just gotten interest. And I renewed it. And then that gets interest on that interest, plus the principal. I renewed it again. So I renewed it now like 2 times. And the interest is growing, but it's now paying interest on interest. Compounding interest is phenomenal. And how you can compound interest with your debt by debt reduction is the same thing. When you basically say you have a rental property or a credit card or a car payment or a house payment, like most folks, when you take that money and you're paying 7%, for example, on a mortgage or 6% on a mortgage, and you pay that down, you just made 6%. But you didn't make just 6%. Because now your payment, let's just say your payment's $1,000, okay? But now more money goes towards your principal than your interest. And that just keeps happening. So compounding interest. And lastly is stick to what you know, like we talked about. Stay focused on what you know. Stay focused on what you know. And maybe you're thinking, well, I'm not really sure. What's your passion? What do you love to do? What do you really get excited about when it comes to earning money or making money or being an entrepreneur or starting a business or whatever it is? What do you really love? You know? And try to monetize. That's my buzzer, time to monetize that. So those are 3 things that are just critical. But you got to read this book, man.
Yeah. You
have to read this book. This book is incredible It's loaded. We just highlighted, what,
Right.
3-4 things in
Yeah.
here? But the story is amazing. It's written in like Old English language. It's on a level about a 6th or 7th grader could read it. And it's a fable, you know, in a fable format. It talks about all these different characters, and it goes through their lives and talks about mistakes that the one character made and how he, you know, it's just a great book.
And you can still
So-
apply it to all those principles. Could still be applied
course.
to
Of
today's
course.
living.
Of course.
Yeah, it's
Of
insane.
course. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So get the book, man.
I got it. I'll get that. I'll get that one though.
Yeah.
The big one.
Well, you gotta get the big one. You can't get little dink. You gotta get the big one.
Anyway,
It's the same price.
that's it, guys. Thanks for
Hey, what's
tuning
our next
in.
episode?
Our next episode.
Yes.
Ooh, I think it has to do with
College, trade school, or
School of Hard
HKU?
Knocks.
Yeah, HKU.
yeah.
That's gonna be a good
You're gonna have to tune in for that one.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you. See you.